so much. Thank you. The problem with what I just did is I would not remember anything I just played. So. I don't know if that's because I'm old.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the soloing there. So I've got a few thoughts that I want to leave you with before you go. And this really pertains more to those of you who play live music, especially live solo gigs, or if you want to get into playing these gigs. I think things we're about to talk about will greatly help you. And I want you guys to play live if you're not. So hang around. Real quick though, I want to give a huge thank you to Jerry, the owner, and all of the staff at Jerry's Dockside, where that gig was at. You guys probably saw some of my shows there last year. I'm talking to Jerry now about getting booked more there this year in 2023, but it's just a really awesome place, just a really chill place with cool people. Again, their staff, they're amazing. Just a cool place to go hang out. It's right there on the water on Alafia River. So if you're in the Tampa or Gibsonton area, do go check out Jerry's Dockside. One of the things you may have noticed is there weren't a lot of people at this particular show. There's a reason for that, and I'll touch on that in a second. No matter how many people are in the audience, because you're going to have shows where a lot of people are there, and you're going to have other shows where there's not a lot of people there. This is the nature of this business. It's just how things work, and I'm sharing this with you because, hey guys, this is real life, okay? This is reality. This is just what happens sometimes. What I want to encourage you to do is, guys, pour your heart out, okay? Play with feeling, sing with feeling, no matter how many people are in the audience. I don't care if it's 100 or 1,000 or if it's 10. It doesn't matter, guys. Get up there and play to the audience. Here's the thing. Your persona may be a little bit different in front of a lot of people, let's say 50 or 100, or those of you who are playing bigger shows, your persona may be a little different in front of that crowd of a lot of people than it would be when it's more of an intimate setting, a smaller crowd. And be okay with that, because this is really a good chance to get a little bit more intimate with those people in the audience. I actually had a great time that night, just interacting with a few people that were there. They were singing along, and we would chat, between songs about the songs and 80s music, because that's what I play when I'm playing these solo gigs. So I really had a great time that night. Now, real quick, the reason why people started kind of trickling off early is because anytime it drops below 50 degrees in Florida, well, people start going home, and I don't think Jerry's had any heat lamps out there that night, so that was kind of expected. I remember when I showed up at the gig, this guy, RDZ, I believe that's his name, RDZ, he was playing. He plays local here too, and I got to meet him. He's a real cool dude, really great performer. But the temperature was just steadily dropping, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't even bring a jacket. My wife, she's all bundled up because, she's smart, she knows, but it was dropping fast. So I had a good crowd for the first, I'd say probably hour, maybe hour and a half. But as the temperatures started dropping more, again, we're on the water right here, folks started kind of trickling out. And we actually ended up closing down Jerry's a little early that night because the crowd just wasn't there. Again, usually this place is pretty packed, because it's a really cool place to go hang out at. But back to my point, I just want you guys to be encouraged that even if it's a smaller crowd, because you're gonna have those nights, okay? It's just going to happen, and you never know when that's gonna happen. There are some shows you show up at, and it's a packed house every time. There's a particular winery that I play at like twice a month. It's always packed. It's just the nature of that winery. There are other places where it's kind of a hit or miss. It might be packed one night, or it might be a situation like what I had at Jerry's here, where the weather's just not cooperating with us. It's too cold to hang out outside. You're gonna have nights where a lot of your friends might show up to support you, which is always cool. You may have nights where no one that you know shows up, okay? So I don't want you to ever be discouraged over these things, and still put on that stellar performance, and just understand that, you're there for that crowd. When you're playing these live solo gigs, they're not there to see Jason Stallworth. Yes, some people come to see me. Actually, I've met a lot of you on YouTube at my live solo gigs, and thank you guys so much for coming up to me at the shows. If you see me playing a show, if you're there for me or just happen to see me playing, hey, you know what? Grab me in between sets or after. We'll have a beer together. And I've done that with several of you, so thank you so much for showing up. It's always so cool. My wife and I are always like, Oh my God, there's a YouTube follower there, and it's just so cool to meet all of you. But going back to your performance, guys, always play with passion, okay? Always play with feeling, and just put on your best performance that you possibly can, but cater it, of course, to the crowd that's there. You know, again, your persona may be a little bit different. If you're playing to a lot of people, well, you're pumping things up a little bit more often, right? But if you're playing to a smaller setting, allow that intimate setting to kind of roll into your performance as well, so that you can just make it a great experience for everyone there, yourself included. Again, I had a great time meeting some of the folks that hung around, and I'd like to think they hung around for my music. You know, they hung around a little bit longer. Again, we ended up shutting down early that night after they left, but it was still just a really cool time, and you can still have a good show with a small crowd. And hey, they appreciated the guitar solo, so that was a plus for me. But guys, I hope this video helped you. I just want to leave you with this. You know, some musicians might be a little afraid to put stuff out there like this. Hey, it's a small crowd. Well, I can't show people that I played in front of a small crowd. They've got to see me playing in front of the masses. But again, guys, you know, this is real life, and I share my life on here with you guys. You know, try not to over glamorize anything. Again, yes, some shows I'm playing in front of a lot of people. Other shows it might not be that much. This place certainly is usually filled with people, because again, it's just a cool place. I love Jerry's Dockside. It's one of my favorite places to play at. Don't let these types of things get you down. Just know that this is just part of life. The weather might not be cooperating, so people might not want to be out and about, or whatever the reason may be, okay? So I just want you guys to be encouraged, and guys, keep doing what you do. Don't ever let anything or anyone hold you back from pursuing what you know you need to pursue with your life, whether that be playing in front of people, playing live gigs, playing in a band, writing your own music, whatever you're doing, okay? You can apply that to anything across the board. By the way, if you're interested in playing live solo gigs, I'll put the link up there, the video up there, to my complete guide to getting started playing live solo gigs. So go check that out next. And guys, again, be encouraged and keep playing music.